When we think about innovation and developing new technologies, we often think about individual firms, such as METS firms, and what they can do to become better. How they become more innovative and do more groundbreaking research, to then develop cutting-edge products and services for the mining sector. When we think about technology adoption and diffusion, we often think in terms of individual customers, such as mining companies. Do they want this new product? Will they adopt the innovation or not? Innovation processes of individual METS firms and the adoption decisions of individual mining companies are important, but they are not the only issues that affect the development and diffusion of technology. Developing new technologies and deciding whether to adopt them doesn't happen in an empty space. METS firms are embedded in a complex ecosystem. In this ecosystem, there are many different stakeholders and institutions, all connected via networks. In fact, every group or field of technology is surrounded by its own ecosystem. This is often called a technological innovation system because it describes a particular field of technology and the ecosystem around it. A technological innovation system has two main elements. The first is its structure. The second are the activities and processes happening within this structure. Let's have a look at the structure first. It comprises stakeholders, their networks, and a set of institutions under which they operate. In a technological innovation system, many stakeholders interact: a range of firms, technology developers, suppliers, customers, investors, researchers, industry associations, government bodies, and others. Some work together closely, others do not. Together, they form networks. Through these networks, they develop technology, share R&D progress or setbacks, develop supply chains, form advocacy coalitions, and if everything works well, new markets may emerge. Within any technological innovation system, stakeholders operate under a range of laws, regulations, industry norms and beliefs. These shape how stakeholders behave. Collectively, these are institutions. Institutions shape what a stakeholder can and can't do. Some institutions are hard institutions. These laws and regulations limit the ways we can act. Others are soft. These are the unwritten rules, our norms, the usual, widely accepted ways of acting. Think of queuing at a ticket booth. There are no rules saying we must queue. It is a soft institution, an accepted way of behaving. Both types of institutions influence stakeholders in an innovation system to behave in certain ways. Institutions can be beneficial for technology development and diffusion, or they can make it more difficult. Let's look at the second main element of a technological innovation system, the activities and processes happening within this structure of stakeholders, networks, and institutions. These are critical for a new technology to develop and diffuse successfully, and to overcome potential barriers to success. Stakeholders should play a critical role in fulfilling these key innovation processes. Otherwise, a technological innovation system may fail. What are the key innovation processes necessary for a functioning ecosystem? A functioning technological innovation system requires a range of companies, organizations, or research institutions to experiment with technological development. Early in the development of a new technology, many technological solutions may be explored, possibly by different technology developers. The range of solutions being developed is likely to reduce over time until just a small number of dominant designs remain in the market. A range of high-quality knowledge development activities need to occur for an innovation system to be functional. These may be R&D activities, prototyping and piloting, and learning about real-world commercial applications. A functioning innovation system needs to allow knowledge sharing between stakeholders, for example, about R&D successes and failures, and commercial applications. This includes collaborations amongst METS firms, or between METS firms and miners. There needs to be some confidence, certainty, and agreement as to the direction of the technology development. Market demand, industry expectations, or government initiatives can provide guidance. New technologies require a market for commercial success. A functional innovation system requires that a market exists or can be formed, and that there is an explicit need for a new technological solution. Technology development and uptake requires both financial and human resources to be committed for the early R&D stages. These resources fund pilots and demonstrations and expand the market. A functioning innovation system needs to mobilize these resources. New technologies often face resistance to change and a lack of legitimacy. People may dislike a new technology because it changes the way they get things done, or they don't trust it. Gaining legitimacy is important and can depend on how positively or negatively a technological field is viewed across the industry and beyond, and how easy or difficult it is to integrate a new technology into organizational routines. So, what does this mean for METS firms? Technological innovation systems can be a helpful lens to look at technology development and uptake. Being successful does not only depend on an individual firm or product, but on how the broader ecosystem looks and behaves. Individual firms, as part of this ecosystem, can make the system work better and support successful technology development and diffusion.